Alright, well, here we have Celeste into the Jungle TAS. A handful of people. Here you go, guys. Take it away.
Hello,
Hi, I'm Kataiser.
this is Mikachelya.
And hi, I'm a bite of data.
So, today we will be showcasing the Celeste into the Jungle 100% task. So, I just want to go over what that means exactly. Celeste is the base game. Then, this is a mod for it, or a fan game. It has a full story, and it's called Into the Jungle. It's very good. And this is a 100% task, meaning we will get all the cards and berries.
Yeah, Into the Jungle was released about a year ago, and the TAS, we've been working on the TAS for a long time. A lot of people have been working on the TAS. Yeah, Into the Jungle, for what you're going to say the TAS, but also playing at RTA, playing it yourself, I highly recommend it. We'll talk more about that later.
One thing to note is that the seasides were made a lot later than the remainder of the map, so we had to test that at the closer to the marathon. But yeah.
Okay, does somebody want to explain 100%?
I think we did.
Yeah, so
Okay.
Yeah.
in every chapter there's a crystal heart, and we will be getting all of those. And in all the A sides, which means the base levels, there are optional berries, which are just collectibles. They don't really do anything, but we will be getting all of those. And as well as that, in every A side, there's a cassette, which unlocks an optional B side level, and those are gonna be beaten too.
Yeah, we'll point those out when we get to them.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, I guess we're probably ready. Data, do you want to count us in?
All right, so we will start on go. So 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, we are all watching a playback of the TAS instead of watching it live. It's a trade-off versus watching it live or recording, but this is what we're doing.
All right,
Okay,
so
this is prologue,
yes.
and usually you're not allowed to dash in it yet, but as you can see we can, and this was something added later with the seasides. You can go left at the start and you get dashes.
And a lot of this terrain has corners, and so we can do what we talked about before with delayed ultras, corner boosts to build up a lot of speed, and that's prologue.
There's also some water in the TAS. There's some water throughout this whole campaign. Water lets us do what's called water boosting off the top of it, which is a jump every frame. Gets us a lot of speed.
Yes, so now we are into the first chapter. There are the berries, and we have these vines, which are climbable, and trees as well.
Yeah, vines are a little bit annoying to TAS. Like walls, you can climb and jump off them, but you can only jump off them if you're already grabbing onto them, which makes them a bit slower vertically.
Yes.
Okay, that was the first cassette. And here we do a death warp, which stays a couple frames just to teleport. Okay, now we have these platforms as well, which get activated when you step on them, and they just give you a lot of speed. They're traveling for a bunch of them.
So here, in this room, there's the crystal heart, which is activated by a dash sequence that you're supposed to try to figure out. Luckily, we already know the dash sequence, so we can just put it in as fast as possible.
These planes are hazardous, but not if you jump off the top of them. Keep your speed, clearly. We have a lot of ways of keeping speed in the TAS, and in Celeste in general, I suppose.
Yep.
And you can go on them as well, the little plants.
Okay, so here we collected all of our berries, and that's important because we will have another death warp coming up in a bit. And if you death warp while you didn't collect a berry yet, it will go away, so you have to collect them by standing on the ground.
So here we go through a screen transition, and we actually don't need to use any of those vines. Because screen transitions give you a dash. Sorry, is that what you're going to say?
We're going to say the exact same thing.
Don't worry guys, we will have a one-up coming up. Yeah, that was a winged berry, which will fly away if you dash too early. But... oh, there's another one as well. Okay, that might have seemed a bit odd, because we actually did a newly discovered trick called bino storage. Bino is these binoculars you see at the start of some levels, and by activating it and then jumping, we trigger some a bit of unnecessary code, so that when we exit a room, we can cancel a dash, which basically means we can get a lot of speed.
Yeah, it's called binary interaction storage. That's pretty new tech, which is why we're explaining it in so much detail. Also worth noting that a few rooms back, we death warped. We went through a transition twice and then death warped to a skiff. I don't know how much, but a bit.
Okay, you will notice that we only got 19 berries out of 21, so we will go back in the level and collect the rest.
That climb is so sick, by the way.
This return to map saves about 1.5 seconds. Okay, next chapter. Here we have these mushrooms which are bouncy, and you can cancel dashes with them as well.
And these mushrooms make for some weird behavior. Basically, yeah, because they allow you to cancel dashes, sometimes you'll be able to do a grounded ultra and cancel off of them. I don't know how many of those we have here, but definitely.
I don't think we don't really join those.
So those are our interaction to cobwebs, which are basically bubbles from the normal game, except weirder.
Yeah, they're very weird.
Weirder for TAS.
A lot of things in this game are a bit janky. So the mushrooms, for one, sometimes you get different size boosts from them. And the cobwebs, you can actually start dashing from it 1 frame earlier than you would think you can. So that saves quite a bit of time.
And also I should point out that a lot of entities, a lot of custom mechanics in this map are, well, they're custom. They are code mods that are not in the base game.
Yes.
So basically everything that we're describing in decent amount of detail is custom.
So you might have seen us get go to a place with a campfire on the way back. That's actually necessary because that you have to get all 3 campfires to get the crystal heart at the very end.
Yes, and we are collecting all the crystal hearts. Okay, so that was the cassette room.
Yeah, we didn't hear any of the music there. Let's zip through it.
Yeah. We just go very fast. Okay, so these are seeded berries. We saw one in the first chapter, but you just have to collect all the seeds without touching the ground. And that will be abused later.
A mushroom bounce is great.
And that berry we were not supposed to get from the bottom, but we just do a precise series of dashes to collect it.
There's the second campfire.
Okay, that was a spike climb, which we will not explain in detail here, but basically know that you can climb spikes sometimes.
There was also, you might have missed this, jumping off, or I guess it was like hyper bee-hopping off the moving platform beneath the plant thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that was the last campfire.
That'll come up more later.
Yeah, more spike climbs here.
Spike climbs are always cool. They just are.
Okay, here we also do a couple transitions to refresh our dash and just skip the room. Okay, here's another seeded berry, which went incredibly quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually refreshed our dash on the ground, which you're not supposed to do because the seeds are supposed to disappear if you touch the ground, but due to some leniency which is built into the game, we can abuse it and get the dash back.
Oh, you want to talk about spiders?
The hard first. Yeah, so we get the heart. You can see there's 3 campfires.
I don't know why that comfy spot has a like sad text. Comfy spots
Yeah,
are this community's name for one tile places you can get into.
Yeah, so now there are spiders which fall down if you stand in the same place for too long, but we are not doing this. This is a speedrun, so they don't really pose too much of a threat.
Yeah, they're a much bigger deal, RTA.
No, that one was a little
Yeah.
close, but
There's only one spot in the...
Yeah.
It's in the second chapter B side that you can't do a skip because of a spider, but it's
Spike.
significant.
Good. They got a nice berry trail going.
Yeah. Okay, so that's them. And if you listen closely, you can hear a 1-up. So we did get one.
by the way, I think you two might be about 2 seconds behind. I don't think that's too big of an issue, but just keep that in mind. Is that funny restart chapter because it's actually faster to do that than go back to the beginning with dashes. So this is chapter 3. Some of the main mechanics here. So the lizards, they actually do damage you now. We'll see those coming up in a bit. But firstly, we see these crumple blocks, which are in the base game. Except these crumple blocks, they actually move once you touch them.
Yeah.
Also, look at the game banana page. I think the lizards are actually called geckos, or at least some of them. It doesn't matter.
Oh,
Yeah.
get my animals wrong.
I mean, yeah.
But
Okay, are you guys at the heart yet? Because I think I desync.
So
Okay, I just into the heart room.
yeah, grabbing the heart right now.
Okay, cool.
Right. So these platforms actually pose a little bit of an issue since you have to wait for them to move to the next spot. So there's often a lot of waiting that we try to skip. You saw in the heart room that we actually couldn't skip it. We just showed off a little bit, got to the bino. That's a very cool room.
Get that hog.
Okay. Now we have the hawks, and they have some very weird mechanics
Yes.
that we didn't even know at first. Basically, they seem like auto-scrollers, and you just have to wait, but there are actually a couple of ways to make them go faster. One of those is to grab the birds with a lot of speed, which carries the speed to the birds and it speeds up. And the other one is actually that while you're holding a bird, it goes faster.
Yeah, you actually want to minimize the amount of times that you let go and re-grab the birds because the birds have to accelerate.
Yeah, we have those 3 rules for optimizing them, and originally we didn't. So,
Yeah. When we found those out, we saved several seconds.
yep. We've got some more interesting hawk tech coming up. We'll see.
The spiked wall bounce right there. There's a couple pixels where that you can actually wall bounce there.
Yeah.
Allows us to skip a little bit of waiting.
Oh, this is cool.
That's so sick.
Yeah, also thinner wall bounce. Oh,
Grab on that tiny little bit of wall. there.
okay. Here we do another bino storage to cancel the dash and get a bunch of speed. Oh, and here we just skip the bird, we don't need it.
Yeah. I think this is one of my favorite mats in terms of decoration. They're all really, really nice, but this is the temple theme.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, the background has a temple in it that slowly becomes more visible the farther you get to the level. Which
Shout out to
is so creative.
Igor and team behind this mod. It is incredible. Oh.
Igor also did the music, or most of the music.
Okay, first we do a crouch jump and then demo dash to the spinners. Do you want me to explain those, or?
So essentially so for demo dashes, you're crouched and that allows you to go to spinners, but you actually don't have to dash. There's a very small window where you can do a duck jump through spinners, either from a hyper or from some other method like an ultra. And it's very precise, but it definitely allows us to do some of the skips here. We skip both of those first.
Yeah, two things. One, going through that berry room is actually faster for any percent, which is interesting. And two, when we say spinners, I don't think we explained that. Spinners mean...
Yeah, we mean the...
those kind of round spikes. Well, they're not round, but round spikes.
Does anyone know why they're called spinners?
They're called that in the code. Oh, this is sick right here.
Yeah.
Hyper B-hop off. Technically off the ground. There are definitely spikes there that kill you, but you can, like, slide in between the hitboxes. Effectively like a reverse demo, almost.
That is definitely pixel perfect. And actually, it depends on how you grab the bird, because it can accelerate differently and you might not be able to do that.
And we're coming up on the temple here.
Right there.
Yeah, this is the temple in the background, I think.
Yeah, some good theories in chat.
Shout out to
people are saying that the spinners spin for 360 degrees every frame. Okay, so here we will see these blocks that dash in the same direction that you dash in.
Do we ever give a name for them?
Remote Kevin's, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one version.
I think there are more names.
I think we called them Bluetooth Kevins at one time.
Bluetooth Kevins, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and there are two different versions of them. The red ones, they will travel until they get stopped by a wall.
Yeah, this chapter 4 is a bit of a puzzling thing.
Yeah, there's a whole puzzle section.
I think it's kind of nice that they're similar to the bubbles in that the red ones go as far as they can, while the green ones only go a short distance.
Yep.
Remote the womp.
So because of them, we can do a lot of multi-boost. Basically, that involves jumping twice off of them, as usually framed perfectly.
Yep, and these clear crystals, they just allow the
Speaking of
to move again. Yeah, we go very quickly. Okay, here we need to go back for the berry.
We unfortunately have to lose all our speed there, but that's a very nice skill.
Okay, and this berry is also very slow. This is the best way we found of doing it.
Yeah, Ella put a bit of effort into a different route, but I believe it was not possible.
Alright, so we're coming up on a very large...
One up here.
Oh, yeah. We're coming up on a very large hub room here. Basically, you have to go through the rooms. Every room has a key that you have to grab to unlock either a different key or the ending. And also a cassette here.
Okay, we just don't use the block at all. And the heart is also here. There's no death ward.
Yeah, that treasure chest is also a custom mechanic, which I think
Yep.
you don't get to hear the cassette music. Yeah, you'll hear more cassette music later on in the beans and stuff.
I think Robo actually drafted all of these puzzle parts. Oh, you want to talk about how you go through that jump through?
Yeah, there's a sideways, like, one-way gate that you're not supposed to go through. But for some reason, you dash into the wall and then touch the gate and you can go through it.
We try to skip that
Nobody
gate for a
knows
while.
where it's open.
That skip is just not possible, unfortunately.
Well,
Which
yeah, but
doesn't really matter
In
for
100% we need to do it.
It's really satisfying just watching the puzzles being destroyed when I had a lot of trouble RTA with them.
Yes.
Yes, they're done very quickly.
Alright.
Oh,
You wanna make your joke
Okay.
again?
yes, why do I hear boss music?
There we go.
So there's something chasing us, but we can't really see it.
It's
Yeah,
a
because
boulder.
it goes so fast.
We'll see it soon though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
sadly,
can,
we have
you
to
can
wait
just
for
hear it in the left channel. Yeah, this section is really cool RTA. This whole map is really cool RTA.
Yeah.
but This particular
This whole
section.
mod is very cool.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I was trying to refer to.
Finally we see the boulder there because we have to wait for it to break one of the walls.
Yeah, you can't break that with a dash.
Chained Ultras ends the level.
Poopy art. Yeah.
Something.
Chapter 5. So this is the escape section, and it's a very painful to task because the blocks are falling. So relative to them, it's like you have very low gravity.
Yeah, I think, wasn't it like,
It's a very difficult RTA.
I remember
Yeah,
when you make an improvement here, you have to resync like the entire room basically.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's some
so-
cycles.
This section is not faked with like gravity changes or whatever. I'm pretty sure all of this is actually falling.
Yeah, you can see the walls on the side.
Which does make landing on top of them more convenient because they kind of pull you on.
Right. Funny return to map there. Actually loads us in, and we skip the dashing in the water part.
Yeah, usually you load inside of the lake, and you have to dash out of it, but it saves a bit of time.
Now talk about the moss.
Oh yeah, so this moss you see on some of the walls, it doesn't let you climb on the wall, which makes it a lot slower to go up these walls.
They're basically the same as ice walls.
Okay, so here we have a seeded berry, and you can see we get our dash back a lot of times, despite the fact that we should not be able to touch the ground.
And with these moss walls, you can neutral, or neutral jumping is basically a tool that allows you to go up vertical walls without using any stamina. However, that is really slow in the
And
task.
without grabbing.
Yes, and without grabbing. But we finally have a tool to deal with the moss.
Okay, we have another death warp just to activate a trigger that drops this lantern and then go back to the start of the room. Okay, and these lanterns, they make all the hazards in the level go away, like the spiky vines and what else?
The snakes.
And the moss. And the snakes. Okay, and here we can see that we are constantly dashing because every dash freezes the game for 3 frames, including the timer, but the music doesn't freeze. And since the cycles depend on the music, we save 3 frames for each dash.
If you play the level yourself, there's a lot of comf spots where they just give you snake facts. I thought that was very neat.
Oh, really?
Wow, I did not know that.
So coming up here, we actually have the crystal heart. We have to bring that lantern from that right room all the way back here.
Yeah, and you need 2 of the lanterns to get the heart. So there's another one here.
You set the lanterns down on the pillars, and then
Barely on the pillars.
barely, yeah. Death warp to continue the level.
This music is so good. Shout out once again to the Grenade.
We steal a lantern there to grab that berry.
Yeah, and in this room you can actually skip the lantern, but getting it is a lot faster. Yes, and while you're holding the lantern, you cannot dash. So usually getting them is quite slow.
But with TAS, we can drop the lanterns and then re-grab them with a hyper or super, so
Yes.
a lot of time that's not a problem for us.
Some cool movement here.
Yeah, we don't actually use wait for any of those swap blocks.
Yeah, these blocks move when you dash.
The jumping off the spikes at the top of those dash blocks was because order of operation stuff. You don't get a dash, but you can recover stamina and also get jumps for height.
Yeah, basically if a block is moving upwards, you can jump on top of it even if there are spikes on it.
And if it's going fast, it's pretty linear.
Yeah, we do a lot of those here.
And so this level at the end,
Has a collection of all the mechanics from the previous levels.
yes, that's what I was gonna say.
The background brightens up, the music opens up.
You see the mushrooms, the lizards, the
Yes,
everything
and
going.
coming up, we have a remake of a section from the main game. But at the start, there's a pool of water, so we can do a water boost.
Yeah, y'all ready for water boosted awake? You know you're not.
Yes.
Alright, here it
What
goes.
the water boost is you jump inside of water on every frame, which gives you a lot of. And there we go. So that was the last chapter, so now we will go back and do the B-sides, which are the optional, harder versions of the levels.
I remember in that chapter we used to go off screen, but I think that was too slow.
Okay, and best music in the game, by the way.
We'll actually wall bounce off of there because these cactus things, they don't have the same hard coating that normal spikes do, so you can actually wall bounce off of them if they're close enough to a wall. But yeah, right there you can see why the vines can be annoying sometimes, because even if you need just a little bit of extra height, you have to wait until all of your vertical momentum stops and then start another climb jump. So
Yes, unlike on normal walls, where you can jump off them even while you're moving upwards. With the vines, you have to grab them.
Audio jungle, that's good joke. In chat.
Yes, cat dance. And Ger actually had different people remix these songs for the B-side, which is what was done for the base game as well.
very funny
That
ceiling climb.
is so cool.
Yeah, just don't play the game. Go up the ceiling instead.
Cool little up right there.
Okay, and each B-side also has a cassette room at the end.
We get very close to touching the spikes.
Yeah. Do you know how close that is?
I'm not sure. Looks like almost
I
the same
know.
pixel.
I know in 5B we're like 1,000 of a pixel away. We will see that. Okay, 2B now. In this level I saved like 5 seconds in the last week.
Yeah, there's been a huge push from a couple people. I think just Ella and Mika over the past week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Get this test a little bit more polished up for this marathon. And it is.
And Bino storage here. We do a lot of Bino storages in this chapter, I think 2 or 3. So at the
Nice
end of the
hyper
road,
off
we will get a bunch of speed.
off the platform. That's so cool.
But yeah.
do a transition climb there to
this
scrap.
skip,
Ooh, that's cool.
that
Skip
skip is
grab.
new. It saved, I think, 80 frames, which is over a second. And it skips a lot of rooms.
Multi-boost up that keyword.
So another binary storage here.
I'm glad you're putting out the mental storages because I'm not assuming.
Yeah, this one only saves 3 frames.
That hyper.
Another 5 frames on the
That's
start
cool.
one.
I remember seeing that one. That's so cool.
Yeah. Okay, and in this room we used to not collect the coins, but it's actually much faster to just get them instead of skipping the door. And that's 2B. Okay, 3B now.
Yeah, that first room is exactly the same as 3A, so I just straight up copied the inputs.
I think it's actually different by 1 block. Like the exit is 1 block closer.
Yeah, have to wait for these, unfortunately. Not really any way of skipping past them.
Yeah, in the B sides are usually a lot more precise, so there are less skips. And
Okay, that was a spinner wave dash, and followed by an ultra to skip basically the entire room with that climb, and then that ultra into the next room. That's such a cool series of movements.
Okay, there was another binary storage, by the way. I think I might stop pointing those out. But
So in this chapter, we have a new tech. I guess it's not necessarily specific to this chapter, but this is where we see it. Hawk.
yeah, it's coming up in a bit.
Yep. So that's pixel and frame perfect, if not more precise than that. Which is not too
Yeah.
terrible task, but yeah.
Basically, when you grab a bird, you get teleported to the center, so you can go through a 5-feet plan. I think there will be another one of those. Yeah, here.
And it does save time because the spiny plant, or not the plants, the birds are not auto-scrollers, being in them this fast.
Yep.
And I'll use that water to skip.
With regards to the bino storage, if we have some waiting that we have to do, it is usually faster to just go to the bino and do it, since we're not going to be doing anything else during that waiting.
Yeah.
A little bit of a climb just to make that cycle.
Okay, in this room we only use one of the 3 birds, and we do a skip here.
In this room, we skipped the entire thing. I knew when I was playing that RTA, I was like, yeah, that definitely looks possible, and then it was.
Okay, more bino storage in this room by the way. So at the end we will get speed.
Alright, we want to move these crumble blocks as fast as possible. We make the cycle on nearly all of them, if not all of them now.
It's all of them. We activate them on the first frame possible.
Nice.
Okay, and this is cycle lock, so we also go through the spikes on the first frame, they disappear.
Oh yeah, I don't know if we mentioned this or not, but the B-sides do not have berries, so we don't have to worry about them.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, this is also a very good track, I like it.
Yeah, one of my favorites.
Okay,
Wait, this is
lots of
7
speed
meters
here.
water level? What?
Camp for a bit while waiting. Okay, and here we also have a puzzle section. Okay, here we retry because the coin actually stays collected even if you die, so that's a faster way to get out of the room.
Again, destroying these puzzles with TAS efficiency.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we can clip through the jump through again in that room. Oh. Lots of speed, but that goes away slowly.
Is something chasing us? I can't really tell. There it is.
Why don't I hear boss music?
Yes. Oh, I think in this room we... No. Okay. I will save when I get there. Yeah, in this room we do a very precise jump here to keep waiting for the boulder.
And as for B?
I think there were sections there where you could only do diagonal dashes playing RTA.
Marshall music. Marshall is the musician that did music for Glyph and also made Glyph.
Musician that did music.
Yes. I want to take this opportunity to say a few things. First of all, if you've gotten this far in the video and you haven't played Celeste, why? Play Celeste. Two, if you have Celeste on PC and you're interested in getting into playing modded maps, I have a few I'd recommend. I believe there's a document somewhere with more stuff. But I would say start with, not necessarily in this order, but Glyph, Into the Jungle, obviously, Spring Collab, and when it comes out, Strawberry Jam. They are all very accessible and extremely good.
Yeah, and playing modded maps is very easy with our launcher.
Yes, it's very easy to install. And if you're interested in tasking, it may look intimidating to see some of the stuff we're doing and be like, I can't task. Yes, you can. If you're going to start tasking a game, I would highly recommend starting with Celeste, to be perfectly honest, because tools are very easy to install. If you know basic, like, RTA speedrun tech, you know how to task. So,
Yes,
and
the
community
tools
as
we
well.
have are incredibly intuitive compared to some other games,
Yeah, definitely.
and in general.
But yeah, I'd love to see people starting tasking after having watched this. I think that
Or even just starting Celeste.
or starting Celeste for sure.
Yeah. We had a couple more Bino storages in this chapter, by the way.
A lot of multi-boost as well.
Yes, by jumping multiple times on a moving block, you get a lot of speed, basically. Okay, and this cassette room is pretty long, so we try to do as many dashes as possible again.
The style in that plant.
Oh, that was cool.
Yes, there we are incredibly close to dying. Seasides have been unlocked. We will do those now. Which are... Seasides are basically very hard, but very short versions of the levels. Most of them are 3 rooms.
Yeah, this all mirrors the same structure as the base game.
Yeah, here we have to wait sadly.
We do actually stall there to avoid having to hit the plant a third time, which is the intended way.
This is sick. Go between the spikes there and a demo hyper off the jump through. That's my strat. It's the coolest thing I've ever done. Maybe.
Yeah, it's very true. Ooh, speed. Yeah, so the seasides, they came out a lot later than the base mod.
Monica worked on most or all of them, I believe.
Yes.
Monica being the creator of the D-Sides pack.
Okay, here we do have a stamina puzzle.
We don't do it.
Yeah, and also this coin puzzle as well.
a lot of waiting here. Unfortunately, you have to wait for the mushrooms to get into position.
Yeah.
Oh, this I remember this being pain for something.
Prepare for this. Yes, we go straight through the platform, including the spikes. But again, the cobweb teleports you to the center of it. So you just teleport through the spikes.
And I know the seasides are... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
This ending is very decisive.
Yes.
And like, it's hard to optimize all the dash.
I know the seasides are supposed to be short, but we're coming up soon on 5C, which is one of the... is incredibly long, actually.
Not sure, yeah.
Okay, here we have a new type of bird, which goes very slowly when you're not holding it, and quickly when you are. So, try to hold them as long as possible, and you will see.
Weave between these gecko lizards, something.
Yeah, those ones kill you if you touch them. Oh, I think that was a hyper on an appearing look. Okay.
That is very...
yeah.
yes.
Weird. Don't worry, it gets weirder.
It gets weirder, yeah.
Go back for it.
Okay, so prepare here.
Unfortunately, not possible to get into that little corridor further, but we can go
So
down.
we get into there to grab the bird a bit, and since while you're grabbing it, it goes much faster, this saves a couple of frames. I think about 10 frames. Okay, 4C. There's also a puzzle section here coming up. Yeah, so we do it very quickly.
Ding dong.
Demo there. Yeah,
Just
and
go under.
we skip a lot of the events.
A little awkward spring movement, but doesn't seem to be skippable.
Oh yeah, pixel perfect all through the gap. To skip a Kevin as well.
Oh, one thing I should mention, you see us menuing a lot here, but we actually do time with the in-game timer as shown on the top left, and so I think that's very nice because like for speedrunners it allows you to take a break in between levels, and you don't have to worry about perfect menuing and anything like that.
Yeah, so there was a heart gate at the beginning of this level, which means you just have to get all of the hearts before this chapter. And yeah, this, unlike the other seasides, this one is incredibly long.
With very sparse checkpoints too, I believe.
Yeah. One room of this is like a minute.
Monica Moon. Do a little bit of a slow reverse there, but let's just keep it at. Well, you need to finish. It's fast.
Slow
Yeah, you-
but fast.
Oh, yeah. And then these ultras.
You see a recap of all of the rooms or all of the levels you've seen before.
Okay, so this is the last room, I think, and it's very
Yeah.
long.
Yeah, we very much need this lantern. I tried routing skipping that lantern and I realized it's very necessary. Or,
Yeah, there are not that
Maybe.
many mistakes here.
because you need the lantern for right here.
Okay. Okay, and there's a recap of also the mechanic here. The advanced mushroom.
Can we get some cat gems for this movie? I think we should.
Yeah. We're also coming up on a trick where we call it the med boost after the person who discovered it, whereby while bouncing into this orb, you get more height, and that saves a couple frames.
Also break that block on your head.
Okay, so we are coming up on time here when we collect this part.
It's a very long cassette room as well. And time.
Okay. So that
Thanks
was
everyone for watching. Yeah.
Celeste into the Jungle 100%. And
Sub 3930.
yeah, we highly recommend everyone plays at least Celeste and this mod as well.
Data, you want me to read the list of testers?
Go ahead.
Alright, so quite a few people worked on this. I'm just gonna read this in order. Yeah. So, we have Ella TAS, Mikachelya, who's in voice right now, abiteofdata, who also is, Cake, Cuberstash, Fire Thief, who was on the last TAS on comms, Flinchless, Game Prophy, Nomus, Galgon, Hane, Kataiser High, Curbs, Lost in Nowhere, Exopta, also known as Med, Nebs, Sasha Bell, Squeal, Teo, the Roboman, Vasher, and Wakey. Yes, that's a lot of people.
Yeah, and we have a few special thanks as well. There
yeah.
New Game Plus, Benjaminian,
Yeah.
Max 480, Vamp, and LM Jax.
Alright, thank you so much for watching.
Yeah, that was awesome. I had a lot of
Thank
fun
you.
watching it. You guys did amazing. Alright. Thanks so much, guys.